Hi, today I am sharing with you a mini album I did for my last Vegas trip. The intro might be a little long. I'm going to try not to make it too long. But in my Instagram and TikTok feed, I had a bunch of people making junk journals. And I'm like, oh, I want to try my hand at that. That sounds fun. Well, I forgot I've done junk journals before. I have videos on using sewing patterns, old sewing patterns, and putting in junk magazine pages and older paper. So I think I've already done a junk journal, but I forgot. And so then I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. So I went to Daiso. I bought some glue sticks, some travel scissors, little envelope to put all my stuff in. And I knew I had a journal that I could use. This was a Carpe Diem planner, just a notebook, which was stapled. I'll come to that in a minute. So I took my stuff, some scrap pieces of paper, thinking, oh, I'm going to journal on my vacation. That didn't happen. So let me get into it and then I'll kind of explain more. So I had this is a sticker, and I think it came on a 12 by 12 sticker sheet from scrapbook.com. So I just put that. There was a flower here and I wanted to cover that to make it a little more, Vegas-y. So I did make this first page while on vacation. This is the only page I made on vacation. I've brought stuff on vacation before, wanting and thinking I was going to craft, and I don't. I just don't have time. When we get up, we get ready, we leave for the day, we come back, and we go to sleep. We are rarely just relaxing at the hotel. And when we do, we are relaxing at the bar. So my husband had to work for a few hours, so I did do this first page while at the hotel. And I did use some junk. You'll see that I didn't really junk journal. This is more of using my old scraps, so it's basically a scrapbook album. So this was the tag on our luggage, or the little receipt you get from the luggage tags. We went to Starbucks. Here's the mobile tag on it. I had taken pictures of our drinks. I think that's a screwdriver, and then this is a Irish coffee. I use the Southwest tag to journal. So since I wanted to say this, you open it up and all the information is upside down. It's kind of weird. But I just use the lines to journal about, what we usually do, our routine at the airport when we go. So that is that. And that was the only page I did. This I actually did when I got home. So I just used a sticker, and very, very basic. So then the next page, oops, this is not gonna stick, is about the hotel. And again, this is, junk journal. Originally this was together, glued together, so there wasn't this ugly seam. But as you can tell, so it was originally stapled, but it fell apart because it's so thick. Look at how thick this is. So I had to go take the staples out and bind it together. It's a little wonky. It's not even the right, because I did it after the fact. And I had to go back in and cut all these sides because it was bad. But anyway, so here I just use the little envelope where your card key comes in. This time we did not stay at one of the casinos on the strip. We stayed off the strip because we knew my husband had to work a few hours, and it was a good deal. So I just used some journaling on this little card, and I showed our breakfast, our free breakfast. That was the nice thing about staying at the Hampton Inn. You get your free breakfast. And I put we were there from Thursday to Tuesday. And I want to go back and actually put the dates, but I have to pull that stamp. Now, I talked about, I went to Daiso and bought a glue stick. Well, the glue stick, I hate glue sticks. I don't know why I thought, oh, this will be different. This is what junk journaling is. You use glue sticks. I hate glue sticks. All of these were coming apart, and it just wasn't working for me. I did also bring on the trip my LG pocket printer. And so this is similar to the Polaroid Pogo and the HP Sprocket, the type of paper that prints out. So I used it for the majority of this album. But the paper I did have in my stash didn't have the stickers. So all of this I had to use, first I tried glue sticks and they were all falling down. So I had to just use my ATG tape runner. Here, just, flip up more. So we try to do one good dinner at a steakhouse we haven't tried before in the past. So this was at the Plaza Hotel called Oscars, and it's been around for a really long time. It was pretty good. We had a view of the Fremont Street, so that was kind of cool. Then this next one is about one of the bars we frequent, and the bartender, how she calls us mom and dad and gives us a really good discount. So that I only took one picture, so I kind of layered this and put a frame around it. It's not a very good picture, but that's what that is. Here, and you'll see very little junk. I didn't collect much junk. And like I said, most of this background is just stuff I had. At the beginning, I was limiting myself to this container that only has pieces of leftover paper. But then towards the few pages in, I'm like, I started looking through old paper pads. I try to use a lot of older papers so I could feel like I was doing a junk journal. Anyway, that didn't really happen. But this right here was some tissue paper I had in there. I don't think this belongs here. Let's see. This is an old sticker, so I don't know where it was. The stickiness isn't very good. This was the coaster at this bar we went to in is it the Mandalay Bay? No. The Luxor, maybe the Excalibur. Anyway, I had tried to make this thinner because I knew the album was going to fall apart, but that didn't happen. It's more of a compressed paper, so I couldn't make it any thinner than it was, so I just left that. And this one I really like this page. I don't know if I've ever done a monochromatic page before, but that was what I was looking for because I wanted to use the red as a pop. So I went through all of my scrapbook paper the scraps in my scrapbook paper box, And I found all the yellow I could and just layered it. And I cut around this cute little flowers. So this was was trash. This was where the hamburger came out of, the box the hamburger came in. And I saved it because, okay, if you're offended easily, do not look. So she's flipping. I thought that was funny. So I kept the top of the box to keep that. So that was a funny and part of my junk journal. Here was, we went to Jason Aldean, and we were originally going there for lunch, but then we had lunch at this Naughty Patty's. So we just had a drink outside. Really cool view. We weren't there very long. They have live music. It's a pretty cool vibe. I found this music paper in my stash, so I wanted to use that. Again, there's no junk on this page. Here we had pizza, and I just talk about what we ate, my drink, and again, there's not much junk on this. Then this page, I receive the Restoration Hardware catalog. It just started coming to my house. I've never bought anything from them. I don't remember signing up for this catalog. This thing is huge. I love looking through it, but there's nothing I'm going to buy from it. But I did pull a few pages out. And so this, I think, is a chandelier. I think it goes that way. And so I thought this was a cool background to use. So again, this is just a bar we frequent. And here, see, you could see where I had to cut it in order to, because I couldn't get the holes in the right place. So I had to see where I was poking the holes. It was a whole thing. I did make a video of me trying to do it, and it just wasn't working out. So I had to scrap that whole video. We just went for barbecue, so I talk about that. And here's the card from the actual barbecue place. Again, I have the receipt. That's the only junk in here. And I was excited about this because this drink I bought, it was called an apple pie harvest. And I took a video. And I'm like, well, I can't use the video on my scrapbook. So I made a QR code. First time I've ever done that. And so I was excited to be able to, you know, in the future, if it still works, hopefully it still works, you could just, you know, do the QR code and watch, you know, them make my drink. So, and this place is off of Fremont Street, a little ways away, in an area called the Container Park. I think that's what it's called. And the reason we went to the Container Park is because I wanted to go to this store. It is called Mama Sage, and it started showing up on my feed on Instagram. So they do junk journals. They actually have craft days in the plaza, in the little area in the front of the store. So I had to go, of course. We were there. So I ended up just buying this one junk journal type kit. It's Christmas related, so I wasn't able to put it in this album. But the kit was from Box of Knots. Again, I found her on Instagram. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, this originally was together, and then I had to cut it poorly. So, and again, there's no junk on this page. Here we went to this Sorry Not Sorry ice cream. I've been wanting to try this place, but every time we go, it's always crowded. Just a long line. But because it was February, the beginning of February, there was no line, so we finally got a piece. And actually, this is napkins. My husband took a bunch of napkins. This is like 4 or 5. Just, they were so thin, I needed to make sure you couldn't see underneath. So I just layered them on top of each other, glued them down. So there is some junk on this one. And then this one right here, I printed all these pictures from my Pringo. So I bought this a long time ago. I can't even remember where. I bought it on some weird site. I don't remember what it was called. But when I got it, the battery, I think the battery, when I first charged it, it kind of expanded. And so it was useless. So I'm like, I want to return this. And they're like, oh, we'll give you a refund, but you don't have to return it. So I ended up buying another battery. And it worked. But then, I don't know what happened. But I can only put one piece of paper in there at a time. If I put the whole pack of 10, it gets stuck. So every time I want to use this, I had to put one, turn it off, put the paper in, turn it back on, make sure it's linked to my phone. And then, I mean, they're very nice photos, but it is a pain to use. Anyway, so this is what I used for these. I wouldn't recommend going to the Neon Museum. This page is about the Neon Museum. It's been on our to-do list for years. We go to Vegas quite often. So I always try to do new things, try new places and stuff. So we're like, okay, we can go this day. We were there for maybe 20 minutes. And if you go in the evening, it's more because, of course, these light up. This is just a sticker and this is a sticker. But you want to go in the evening, and it was, for 2 people, it just was not, it was not worth it. I mean, it was kind of cool, but like the Hard Rock is coming back. So that, yeah, whatever. The plaza is still there, so this is just an old other sign. It still looks the same. The Tropicana they've recently gotten rid of that, so I guess it was okay, but we weren't there very long. We were very disappointed. Then we went to this bar that I've been wanting to go to in the link. It's called, what is it called? Disco Show. And I pulled all this sparkly paper because I knew I wanted to use it on this. Well, this glitter is everywhere. The paper packs I bought recently do have the sticker back on the photos, but they won't stick to this paper. So I had to use this silver tape on it. It's a mess. But the receipts came in this New York Department of Finance parking violations card or envelope or whatever. And so my husband asked the guy, or the bartender, can we take this? My wife's scrapbook. So there's a piece of junk in there. And then just the receipt and a couple more photos. And then it was Super Bowl. The reason we went to Vegas is to meet some friends at the bar to watch the Super Bowl. We didn't care for either. We actually wanted both teams to lose. We hate the Seahawks. We're 49er fans. So this was us. This is my husband, my nephew, and me. And we had shots with our friends. So that's the shots being lined up and the TVs. And the group of us with one of the bartenders. And then again, no junk. And then here's the last page. And I just used, so you can't get change out of the machines when you go to cash your tickets. And these are just all the loser tickets we had. And I just tore them apart, pasted them on. And so that's it. So thank you for watching.